bustling city, there lived a beggar named John, who spent his days sitting on a street corner, asking passers-by for spare change. His clothes were tattered, and his eyes reflected years of hardship. John had long lost hope of ever escaping his life of poverty. He had resigned himself to the idea that he would always be a beggar, dependent on the charity of others to survive. One day, while sitting as usual, a well-dressed man named Thomas walked by. He was a successful businessman, known for his wealth and achievements. As Thomas passed, John mustered the courage to approach him. "Excuse me, sir," John said, his voice trembling. "Could you spare some change to help me?" Thomas looked down at John and after a brief pause said, "You are asking for something, but have you ever considered giving anything?" John was taken aback by the question. "What could I possibly give?" he asked, his voice filled with confusion. "I have nothing." Thomas smiled kindly and sat down beside him. "I once thought the same, but I learned that the key to success in life is not about taking, but giving. Let me teach you something. When you start to give, you will see how the world opens up to you." John listened closely, intrigued by the businessman's words. "Why don't you try something different?" Thomas suggested. "From now on, every time someone gives you money, give them something in return. It doesn't have to be anything grand. Maybe a simple flower or a kind word. Start small, but start giving." John was skeptical, but he had nothing to lose. The next day, as he sat on his usual street corner, a man walked by and handed him a coin. Remembering Thomas's advice, John quickly picked a small flower from the nearby bush and handed it to the man in return. The man smiled warmly and accepted the flower, thanking John before walking away. For the first time in years, John felt a sense of joy and satisfaction. He had given something, and in return, he had received a smile and a sense of connection. Over time, John continued to give to those who helped him, offering flowers, kind words, and even small acts of kindness. Slowly, he noticed that more people began to stop by, offering him not just coins, but also words of encouragement. His life started to change, and he began to feel a new sense of purpose. One day, as he was sitting outside, Thomas returned. He smiled when he saw the transformation in John. "You've done it," Thomas said. "You've learned the true power of giving. Now, I have a suggestion for you. Why not turn your love for flowers into a business? Start selling them, and you'll see that your giving will multiply." With Thomas's guidance, John started a small flower stall. He poured his heart into his new venture, growing beautiful flowers and selling them to the people in the city. His business flourished, and John soon became known not only for his beautiful flowers, but also for his generous spirit. He continued to give freely, and his business grew in ways he had never imagined. John's transformation from a beggar to a successful businessman was remarkable, but the most important lesson he learned was that the more he gave, the more he received in return. He shared his story with others, teaching them the same valuable lesson. The secret to success in life is not in what you take, but in what you give. True success comes not from taking, but from giving. When you give with an open heart, you open yourself to unexpected opportunities and rewards.